Hello and welcome to another video. Before I start this video, I was on the phone with one of my friends and he told me that weed is legal where they live. And he asked me, "Is weed legal where you're at?" I said no, and he said, "Oh man, that sucks." And he told me this, if you smoke some weed, it will like ease the stress. Because, I get upset and I'm all stressed out, and I let a lot of stuff get to me. But, I'm trying my best not to let stuff get to me. So, yes. Well, what I want to talk about in this video, what you're looking at is, a display on the radio in my car. I'm not going to play any music because if I do, YouTube will deem this video as copyright claim, and this video will be pulled down on this channel and I will get a strike. I've been getting a lot of strikes on this channel. It's funny, people make fun of how I talk, said I stumble and stutter and fumble as I talk. Some people say my videos don't make any sense and I get demonized. I get a lot of mean comments in one of my videos. And yet I'm getting strikes on this channel. Yeah, I look back on all of that and, it doesn't mean anything to me anymore. It doesn't bother me because, at this point, I really don't care. You know, say your mean comments to me in the comments. I don't give a shit. Okay, on to this video. There's something that been bothering me as of late. You know, um, Seeing footage on YouTube of victims of the families of the victims who died in that mass shooting at the hands of Nicholas Cruz at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. And they all go to Nicholas Cruz and they all say what they say to him and saying that, "Oh, you're a monster, you're a bastard. I hope you die in prison. I hope people in prison take good care of you." And yeah, and you know, you know, I look at people like Nicholas Cruz, R. Kelly, who else? Who else I can think of? Just general, like men been who came from a dysfunctional family. They were bullied, they were picked on. Going back to the dysfunctional family, they were like sexually assaulted, they were tortured, and some of them, become pedophiles. They go after children, make children do things that are just unspeakable and wrong. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna go in any. I'm not gonna go into detail on that. Then you got some men who become mass shooters. You know, I'm looking at these guys, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm thinking to myself, I'll probably, I might end up like these guys. I probably will. But and I'll tell you why. This is kind of strange, but I'm gonna say this. So, you know, Yeah, it's like this, I came from a dysfunctional family, I got a dysfunctional mother, I got a dysfunctional father, I got a dysfunctional sister, and I have a dysfunctional brother, an older brother who died in a car accident. You know, yeah, he died when he was like driving home from work. He was a police officer, and he was coming back from a city, and he was on a divided highway or an expressway of some sort, and a teenage boy in a white car fell asleep behind the wheel of the car, and he swerved to the other side of the road, and he hit my brother head on and killing him. You know, at my brother's funeral, I didn't show any emotion. I didn't cry or anything. And, and I tell you why. Because, my brother treated me like shit. Just like my sister, just like my mother, just like my father. And, and I heard about, I had some family members. I had an uncle, and I had an uncle on my mother's side of the family, and an uncle on my father's side of the family. They both passed away due to age and health issues, and I just didn't care because I just didn't like people on my mother's side of the family or my father's side of the family because they're all dysfunctional. I got some of them who don't care for me and don't want to have anything to do with me. And I think I got a cousin who lost his mind, and he was a family man. Well, yeah, he had a family. He was married. He had children. He was younger than me, and he just lost it and got charged with a bunch of DUIs, and he's spending time behind bars. He was just clean cut, it's just this innocent like homebody look type of guy. And I try well he was on my father's side of the family. And I tried to talk to him, and he just smarted off to me, and and just ignored me. And also, here in America, on YouTube, I've been bashed and treated like dirt. And all of that, will probably make me do things that that R. Kelly did, or do things that mass shooters like Nicholas Cruz would do. And I don't want to go down that route. I don't want to go down the route that these guys went down. You know, and I'm doing a good job, by staying away from toxic people who would do damage to my mental health and make me be something, turn me into something that I don't want to be. That will make people hate my guts and don't want to have anything to do with me. I don't want to be like R. Kelly. I don't want to do the things that R. Kelly did. I don't want to do what R. Kelly did, and I don't want to do what Nicholas Cruz and all these mass shooters are doing. So, I come to a conclusion. I come to a conclusion that, that, yeah, where I live, and the people that I come across are just they're just horrible people. And I live in the United States. I live in a country where, people don't respect each other. They just treat each other like dirt. They're fearful or paranoid of me and other people. So that's what I'm trying to get at here. And you just feel alone here in the US. You do. If you try to be happy, you try to like say something positive and do the right thing, people just don't care. They just walk all over you. But oh, heaven forbid, if you if you do something, if you do the things that R. Kelly did, or do the things that Nicholas Cruz and George Soudini and Elliot Rodger, if you do the things that these mass shooters are doing, and R. Kelly, who does who was like a sexual predator, and you know, a, like sex trafficking of minors, and sexual assaulting young people, then you're demonized as a monster. You're a bastard. You're effing piece of garbage. So it's just I just know what I don't know what to say. I like my mental health. I want to be happy. I don't want to be driven into doing the wrong things because of a bunch of toxic, messed up in the head people. Cause I live in a country where mass shootings just happen all the time. You know, Abortion rights are overturned for women. You know, third wave radical feminism. You know, I'm being gaslighted by my parents and by my sister, by my mother, saying that I won't be able to pay all the bills, and I can't use my own food stamps because I buy the wrong things, and I don't look at the sales paper from a grocery store to see what's the cheapest thing on sale. All this crap, all of it. I'm just I'm just burnt out. I'm just depressed. I just feel hollow inside. You know. And I'm single. I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not married. I don't have a wife. I don't have children. I never kissed a girl or a woman. Never had sex with a woman. So, it is what it is, but there's something that is good for me that will help me out greatly. And I like this. You know, when I was on when I was like getting like comments that was being shot my way from people from other countries, outside of the US, European countries, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Belgium, you know, people from like someone from people from Russia, and I see this, and I talk to these people, I have a good conversation with these people. They don't tear me down. They don't belittle me, and they don't yell and shout at me. They don't make fun and make fun of how I talk in my videos. In my previous videos, I was stumbling and fumbling because, I was scared and I didn't know what to say. Some say I say the same thing over and over and over and over again. Everything I say is repetitive. But, when I talk to people outside of the US, you know, I feel good about myself. I feel like I'm just like everybody else. I'm just a normal human being. I even talked to some people from the UK. You know, looking at Winston Wu's forum, his forum, and online and viewing his YouTube channel, he told the truth about the US. He said that, if you leave the USA, if you leave the United States, and you travel to other countries, all your problems and that dark cloud that's hovering over you is gone. I mean, you start to feel good about yourself. You start to have confidence. You can be happy. You can smile. You can say something funny, and people will laugh, And I remember when I was overseas, I was on a cruise ship, and I was at this, I was at, I was on this cruise ship that sailed in Northern Europe, and I went to this help desk to change my American dollars into euros so I can buy things at souvenir shops in European countries that were EU states that was part of the European Union. And I was doing it like the guy at the help desk, he was from another country. I didn't know what country he was from, any country in Europe, and he started to talk to me. And I remember I was in Belgium with my parents and my sister. Um, we were walking through some town in the northern part of Belgium, which is Flanders, or the Flemish community, which is Dutch speaking. And there was this, and we ran into this old man. He was kind of overweight, and he just walked up to us, and he wanted to talk to us. And I just stood there all petrified and frozen because I've been in the U.S. I've been living here in the U.S. and I gotta fear people. Everything's dangerous. People are dangerous. And America just screwed me up, and it did. It just messed me up. And the old guy just wanted to talk to us, and I just didn't have it in me to speak to him. But if I was in Belgium right now, I probably would. Belgium or any country in Europe, I probably would, or any country outside of America, I would talk to somebody. I mean, I remember talking to a British person, having a back and forth conversation with a British with a guy from Britain. He was black and he was a trucker from Manitoba, Canada, and I was talking to him at this rest area along this major highway while I pulled in to take a break. And he was a nice guy. I talked back and forth with him. He was black, just like me. Like, it was just shocking that you couldn't do this with black people here in the U.S. because black people in the U.S. will like snap at you. They wouldn't give a shit about you if you talked to them. You know, maybe because black people are so, some black people don't give a shit because of hard times. Their own people are being gunned down by white cops. Black lives matter, and the cost of living is through the roof, and people not making enough. Yeah, and the economy and everything affects everybody in here in America, regardless of race. But you know, I just, it's like I can just connect. It's like this. Like, I can just connect and just socialize with people from other countries than with people in my own country. And on top of that, I remember going back to the cruise ship. I remember this girl that came up to me. She was a waiter. She was kind of cute, and I was like eating food, and she came walking up to me, and I looked at her and had food in my mouth, and she started laughing at me. And that made me feel like I was a kid again, like I was 11 years old again. It's it's just insane. Like, it just shows that, like, just I just look at the U.S. and I look at other countries that I went to, like, in Europe. I just look at America. I look at countries that I went to in Europe, and I just see that the culture is just the two cultures are just entirely different. America, the United States, is just paranoid, cruel, violent, too violent, undereducated, over-policed country. That's what the U.S. is. And I look at other countries, that I went to. They're sane, they're civil, You know, the people won't snap at you. They won't give you dirty looks. You know, but I'm not gonna say that those countries are perfect. You know, there's no such thing as a perfect country. You know, everybody isn't perfect. You know, everybody in those countries aren't perfect. You know, the countries in those countries themselves aren't perfect. They have their problems, they have their issues, but they don't have the problems that the USA, the United States, has. Yeah, I know I'm stuck in America, and I can't leave this country. I just don't have the money, and I don't have the job, and my passport has expired, so I got to renew that. And and in voting, here in the U.S., like, what's the point of voting? Like, nothing good is going to happen. Nothing's not going to happen. It's nothing's not going to happen. Nothing's not going to get better in this country. You have someone in charge, someone who is president, someone who's in the White House ain't going to do anything about mass shootings or anything, any problems here in this country or nothing. So what's the point of me voting? And plus you got voter suppression in in states that are kind of like the state that I live in. Yeah, I mean, so I decided I'm gonna stop voting. I'm just gonna get away from politics altogether. You know, I'm just talking about all this stuff because I'm just depressed, alone, have no one to talk to. Well, I'm looking for a job right now. I'm gonna find a job, and eventually, I'm gonna have like a crappy boss and crappy coworkers, but I can't let them bother me, and I can't care what other people think or say about me. I just gotta ignore those people, and I do, and people who I went to school with, they don't want to have anything to do with me. They don't care about me. But that's fine. And I got some old teachers from schools that I went to when I was a teenager, they don't want to have anything to do with me. So you know what? The hell with them. And the hell with my the hell with my mother, my father, my sister, and the hell with relatives on my mother's side of the family, on my father's side of the family, and the hell with the United States in general. The hell with them. The hell with all of them. I've been treated like crap. I've been. My mother called me an idiot because I gave back a George Foreman grill that my sister got for me for my birthday. I just gave it back. I just gave it back to her. I didn't grab a gun and go and shoot her in the face. I don't need to do all that. The pattern, all these mass shooters, they just what can I say? Like, they're they're majority men, young boys, teenage boys, young men, older men. You know, they go through like they go through a life crisis. They had a bad upbringing and they snap and they lose it and they go on mass shootings. I don't need to be like that. I don't need to go down the R. Kelly route either. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep my sanity in check. I'm not gonna let nothing get to me. I'm gonna focus on getting a job. I'm gonna plan on what where I want to live in a country of my choosing. Yeah, moving to another country is hard, and it is. Immigration is hard, and my dad told me that I'm going to fail in a country that I'm going to move to. I'm never going to learn the language because of my learning disability. But you know what? I don't care what he thinks. You just, there's a saying, Winston Wu says this. If you stop caring what other people think, let me start over again. If you stop caring what other people think, then you're free. So I don't care what people think anymore. I don't care what people think of how I talk in these videos. Because I just come to a conclusion that I just don't care. And I'm better off, talking to someone from a country, outside of America than people in America, because people outside of America are less toxic. They're not judgmental. They're not gonna tear me down and belittle me and put me down. They're gonna they're gonna build me up and make me feel good about myself, and they're gonna as I talk and say some things about myself. So yeah, and yeah, and before I end this video, while I was looking at Nicholas Cruz before he got sentenced to life in prison, um, there was this British woman and her daughter. Like, this British woman was completely brainwashed. You know, you know what makes me sick to my stomach? You got these people from other countries. They come to America and they get brainwashed by all this bullshit. And I look at these people. These people are just, they're just drones. They just been drinking the goddamn Kool-Aid. You know, they don't know any better, so screw them. Anyway, that's all I gotta say in this video. Yeah, and I might do a video about the radio. I might do that again. Well, not again. Well, I think I did this in the past, but I might do that again. Not again. Yeah, I might do that again. I might make a video about the radio, how and the songs that they play over and over and over and over again, and doesn't matter. It's today's music from a long time ago, whatever. I might do a video about that. Okay, I don't want to ramble out. I don't want to run my mouth about God knows what. So I'm gonna stop the video there. All right. Thank you for watching the video. Cheers.